Tonight we wrap up year 9 of the Cancun Challenge on the shores of the Caribbean Sea at the Hard Rock Hotel, Riviera Maya. Our third place matchup tonight on CBS Sports Network, Utah State, Texas Tech, the Mountain West, and the Big 12. Yesterday's action in semifinals, Auburn wins by 2 over Texas Tech. Purdue knocks Utah State into this third place game. We will see Auburn and Purdue in the second game of our doubleheader, the championship of the Cancun Challenge. But first things first, the third place game. Thad Anderson, Doug Gottlieb, good day at the resort today?
Great day at the resort today. Got a good workout in, great meal, all-inclusive. Everything's wonderful.
I hope they have enough weights here at the all-inclusive for you, Doug. Utah State, we got a chance last night to see this talent leading the team in minutes per game, leading the team in points per game. Fun player to watch, Jalen Moore.
Jalen Moore is terrific, and this is a big challenge for him tonight. Second night going against the Power 5 conference school, and you mentioned leading the team in points, 17.5 a game, a 4-year starter, just passed his dad in the all-time Utah State scoring list, but Mountain West needs the Aggies to get a big scalp, and getting a team like Texas Tech would be huge. And I think Jalen Moore, he's a player who reacts very well at the defensive end to what's going on at the offensive end.
Last night, Texas Tech had a shot at the buzzer to win that game over Auburn. Came up short, a furious rally. Texas Tech, what do they need to see? What does Coach Chris Beard need to see tonight from his first-year squad?
I think better energy. You know, they want a little better toughness, but a little better energy. They were beaten up on the boards in the first half, gave up 6 offensive rebounds to Auburn. They were just badly outplayed by the Auburn Tigers for about 30 minutes, and then they woke up, started to play, and nearly pulled off a miraculous upset. But for Texas Tech, this is a team that cannot lose tonight, especially considering they really only have Richmond on the road as the only other non-conference school that'll come from a league that provides multiple NCAA tournament bids. So if you're Texas Tech, you don't want to lose to Utah State, and then now all of a sudden you got to earn your way back into the NCAA bubble by winning in the Big 12, which is always difficult, especially with the double round robin.
So an important game tonight for Texas Tech. Utah State would love to get this win. Somebody's taking the third place spot tonight at the Cancun Challenge.
Basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Hard Rock Hotel Riviera Maya, an all-inclusive experience. HRHRivieramaya.com. And by Triple Crown Sports, destination locations, signature memories, professional staff. Get in the game at triplecrownsports.com.
5 each way, looked like that. Utah State, Rector McEwen, Barnaba, Moore, and Janasek, the starters for the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. Thomas, Evans, Gray, Smith, Livingston. A couple of changes in the starting lineup, particularly for Texas Tech. Changing things, one due to a little injury issue and another one just a playing decision.
Yeah, Aaron Ross is not going to start, not going to play, not even going to dress. Just precautionary. You know, he's had 2 knee surgeries, twisted his leg a little bit last night, so they're going to hold him out.
Texas Tech has the first possession. Texas Tech in the white uniforms in this third place game. Utah State wearing the darks. 15 seconds on the first shot clock of the night for the Red Raiders. That's Justin Gray handling. He'll rise and score. Gray knocks it down. Gray did not start last night. He starts tonight, starts the scoring.
And of course, he started going back to last season, and Justin Gray, who probably played his best basketball of the season against Eastern Kentucky. They need more offense. He can provide a very good mid-range jump shooter.
Utah State drive and a kick out. That was McEwen. Got it back outside, and the 3 is good. Rector acknowledges McEwen on the pass.
And Shane Rector's a good open jump shooter. He shoots the ball from the wrong side of his face, but it does go in. And credit the freshman, Kobe McEwen, with the pass.
Gonna get offensive tonight, Anthony Livingston.
Anthony Livingston, he looks like he's 40 years old. He's kind of got to get an old man game. Loves to shoot jump shots and then bang inside defensively.
Livingston was no cowerer from shots last night. Happy to elevate it up. Shot by Barnaba is no good. Bodies flying around on the rebound. Texas Tech corrals the miss. First-year head coach for Texas Tech, Chris Beard, 8th overall, a 1995 graduate of UT, now head man at TT.
And Chris Beard has done an outstanding job during his time as an assistant at Texas Tech for a decade. And of course, last year took Arkansas Little Rock to the NCAA tournament. They won 30 games and they upset Purdue in come-from-behind fashion in the first round.
A Utah State foul. Jalen Moore, he has the first foul of the game for either team. 9 seconds on the Red Raiders shot clock. Thomas probes. Livingston hit one moments ago. He's going to drive this, find a seam, score, Uno.
Well, this is what happens when Anthony Livingston makes a jump shot. Now a quality shot fake. One dribble, step through, sweeps the basketball. Uno, as you love to say.
All the Spanish I have. I'm exhausted of my bilinguality. Anthony Livingston, a transfer from Arkansas State, two-time second-team All-Sun Belt performer. And Livingston is all south of the border tonight, off and running. There's the head coach of Utah State, second season after 14 as an assistant coach in Logan, Tim Duryea.
And look, Duryea's team last night, that's a tough matchup. You know, Isaac Haas and Biggie Swanigan for Purdue. They're just too big, too strong for the Aggies. This is a Texas Tech team that if the Aggies can hit some jump shots early, they react better on defense when they're making some shots on offense.
In the corner, up and good. That is the preseason co-freshman of the year in the Mountain West, Kobe McEwen. Got some preseason accolades. Smith,
oh,
boom.
I think he just knocked the lights out of that.
Yeah.
On that hoop.
Hey, he caused some electrical zaps on the buzzer string of lights.
Zach Smith got his offense going with a big dunk last night, but the good news for Utah State, hitting some jump shots in some rhythm early, but they got to get back and find their man.
Wow, knocking him down. Jalen Moore, preseason All-Mountain West selection. He hits a three.
Well, last night they were limited by foul difficulty with their interior players, but the perimeter players were a little overwhelmed by Purdue as well.
How about the shooting tonight? Utah State 3 of 4 from the floor. Texas Tech 4 of 4. This ball trickles through, away, and out of bounds.
First, take a look at Zach Smith from Plano. Goes up, and I don't know if he knocked the lights out or if they just reacted to the ferocity of the dunk. And then beautiful setup here, Shane Rector, and the extra pass made to Jalen Moore, who knocks down the triple.
Utah State has 3 buckets and 3 assists. They've assisted every goal tonight.
Barnaba with the nice extra pass. Barnaba, again, another big guy who likes to shoot jump shots, but it's that extra pass mentality for Utah State.
That should have been the hockey double assist, right? That actually had 2 assists involved. Rector got it to Barnaba, who passed it along. Now Barnaba will score on the left side.
Yeah, not a great low post score, but if you're going to guard him with somebody as diminutive as Shadell Millinghouse, I'll take that easy too.
Millinghouse started last night, just checked into this one, came off the bench tonight for Texas Tech. He missed the shot.
Texas Tech switching every screen. Utah State seeing that, trying to post up with their bigger players.
Boy, these guys figured out the floor after one game here in the ballroom last night. They have found the shooting stroke.
Well, Jalen Moore is that good a shooter. This is not out of the realm of possibility. He drops 30.
Already has 6 on a couple of threes. Temple tries it, and that's no good. That's Matthew Temple. Going again. Moore, no.
Quick little heat check.
Yeah. Humidity check here in Cancun. South of the border, Thomas drives, he scores. Hello, anybody?
Yeah, I mean, look, as well as Utah State has shot the ball on offense, you gave up a Zach Smith dunk, and all of a sudden now you give up a straight line drive right down Broadway. Those are 4 easy points for the Red Raiders, who struggle to score in the half court at times.
You're going to get a 40% change out in personnel at the next stop. 4 players waiting at the score table.
Speaking of hockey, right?
Yeah, side change. Spin, score, bucket is good for Utah State. There's Norbert Janicek. Guy who got banged around last night. Offensive foul. Gray knocks him to the floor.
Well, you saw Jalen Moore there defensively, and as I mentioned, this staff says when Jalen Moore is hitting shots, he plays much better defense. Well, guess what he's been doing? He's been making shots. Just like Fletch, 6'6", 6'9" with the afro. 3 more for Jalen Moore. Man with the fro is none other than Jalen Moore, a preseason All-Mountain West selection. He's also on the 2016 Julius Erving Award watch list. And no, he didn't just grow his hair to be on that list. He's always kind of rocked these 70s styles fro. And whereas Jalen Moore just passed his dad, Jimmy Moore, is a great player, worked for the university. He played the power forward for his first 3 years as a stretch four for Utah State. Now playing at the small forward position, can score inside and outside. Right now, it has been from three, and Jalen Moore has found the range here in Cancun.
Dr. Rosen, Dr. Cocteau Sinsel. That's a Fletch thing, right? You just invoked Fletch, so we're going there all night long.
Yes. You ever serve time, Doc?
Utah State has the basketball out of the timeout. Little slipstreaming, and out of bounds goes the pass. Slipstreaming, piece of gum to help filter out the bugs.
Yes.
Texas Tech on the turnover by Utah State.
So frustrating for Tim Duryea. You know Texas Tech is going to press out of the timeout. You execute the press break to perfection, and then you drop a surefire layup. Ugh.
Millinghouse. Utah State had not used any subs, while Texas Tech had used a couple in the early going. Now everybody's gone to their benches with some changes during the timeout, but that starting five played the first 5 minutes for Utah State. We're seeing some change now with Taylor Dargenton in there for Utah State. Millinghouse has gotten to the floor, as has Temple for Texas Tech.
That's hard for Dargenton to come in first touch, and he is a good open three-point shooter, kind of that stretch four we talked about Jalen Moore previously playing. But when you get that first touch, doesn't mean you have to shoot it just because you're open.
Ooh, no good for Texas Tech on the try from Keenan Evans. So now an exchange of misses after make to start the game. A couple more subs, one each way, waiting to check in. Jumper too strong. Kobe McEwen, offensive glass. Quinn Taylor got some time last night. He's back on the floor again. This jumper will be good. Tres puntos, Jalen Moore. He's hit 3 of those in the early going.
A nice extra pass from McEwen, who missed an open jump shot. I didn't think he got a good pass from Shane Rector, but he didn't get selfish and try and go 2 for $1. Instead, he found his senior teammate Jalen Moore open in the corner.
Rector 3 assists, McEwen 2 assists. Gray too strong. Taylor takes it, gives it away to Rector. Rector threw it right to Justin Gray.
And he had McEwen wide open for an open jump shot.
Millinghouse, he's fouled, going to shoot free throws. Hard Rock Hotel Riviera Maya, the all-inclusive host of the Cancun Challenge. Enjoy a rock star getaway, lavish rooms, world-class dining, stunning tropical views. Start your all-inclusive experience at hrhrivieramaya.com.
And you kind of have 2 choices, right? You can go the adult-only route, or you can do the family route. It's like 2 different resorts within one.
Yeah. If you're a kid, you don't have those choices.
No, you
Plus, you pay double. Talking about kids, by the way, speaking of kids, we've got a massive contingent of area youth represented here tonight, part of the Seaside Rotaries program, coupled with Triple Crown Sports, to bring area children to these basketball games. A great program. You can see behind Millinghouse there, a good contingent gathered in the end zones on each side. Welcome to our local guests, courtesy of the Seaside Rotary and Triple Crown Sports. Utah State up by 7, 19-12 the count. Texas Tech trailing and playing defense. That foul a moment ago was Taylor, first personal. Now we've got a foul, and that one is going to be Justin Gray's foul. Second foul for Justin Gray. There he goes. And there's a sliver of the crowd that's assembled here tonight, bust in from surrounding communities. Our young friends in the building. Jalen Moore, he shot everything from outside the arc. Now he goes inside the arc and hits it. Moore had taken 4 shots, all of those from long range. Adds that 2. He's got 11 points. Texas Tech nope, not gonna retain possession. Tried to bounce it off of Moore, did Thomas Brandsma, but he caught the collateral damage on the ricochet.
Watch Moore. He takes a look. He knows the double team's not coming. And he also knows that Zach Smith's trying to not foul. But look, Zach Smith is 6'8", 220, long arms, good defender. That's just good offense. That wasn't bad defense. Jalen Moore is showing the entire repertoire he has at the offensive end.
It was 10-6 Texas Tech, but Utah State a 15-2 run to put a palindrome on the scoreboard, 21-12. Tipped away and recovered for Utah State. To the floor went Rector to keep possession. 6 seconds to shoot. Oh, Julian Perry got it stuck. That is a possession arrow call. And it's going to go to Utah State with 3 seconds on their shot clock from the Caribbean beaches, the Cancun Challenge.
He's got a really high basketball IQ, usually tries to make the right play, try to play the right way. That's kind of inbred in him, and I'm sure he feels pressure a little bit to, hey, I got to get, this many numbers and this many rebounds, and they want to see this many points. And, we talk frequently about, hey, don't lose sight. You're going to play better if you just have fun.
Jalen Moore, there he is on the bench at the moment, a guy who has led the Aggies in scoring and rebounding each of the last 2 seasons. His coach, Tim Duryea, talked to us about Jalen before the start of this Cancun Challenge.
And of course, he played for Stu Morrill, and Duryea was his assistant. Got a chance to start as a freshman, became their leading scorer as a sophomore. And a 4-year product out of Skyview High School in Smithfield, Utah, has been as good or better than the Aggies ever could have hoped as they made this very difficult transition into the Mountain West.
Dargington got it on the inbound. Kobe McEwen sends it in to Janasek, and a foul. 21's the number they show. Anthony Livingston picks up the Texas Tech foul. Substitution coming for Texas Tech. Matthew Temple checks in for Livingston. And also in Shadell Millinghouse returns. Trying to figure out who he's replacing. It's going to be Smith. Janasek, you talked about it, Doug, last night. We hope he got a good hot tub last night after playing Purdue. Fouled out of that one.
I talked to him about it. He said, I wasn't just going to let, he being Isaac Haas is so big. I was trying not just let him get position. I think Utah State, if they could do it all over again, they wouldn't have played behind Isaac Haas because Haas was just too big, too strong, and they were too late with their double teams.
Baseline try from Kobe McEwen. He's fouled, a Toronto, Canada product.
Nice little backdoor cut here from Kobe McEwen, who likes to drive in, loves to draw contact. That's his game. Ultimately, he'll be a point guard for Utah State. But Tim Duryea, it felt like, look, you have so much experience and age in Shane Rector, who, of course, started his career at Missouri, then went to junior college, and ultimately ended up in Logan. Got all that experience. Take a little bit of a load off of McEwen in order to play him at the 2, and then, for example, with this lineup, he plays the 1 along with Sam Merrill, who I think Duryea also likes to get more and more minutes as the season wears on.
Temple picked up that foul. Livingston just checked in, got the rebound, and handed it off to Keenan Evans, who also just checked in. There's Evans handling up top. Keenan's got it back.
Utah State struggled with their zone last night against Purdue, but I think they're a little bit more committed to staying in it for longer possessions tonight.
Yep, fending off 29 seconds of that shot clock, and the miss comes from Evans. Utah State drains the shot clock defensively. Shot quickly on the way, and no good from Sam Merrill. Loose in the lane. Temple was behind Janasek, and it's going to be Temple's second foul. Hoops Confidential Veterans Classic coming up next. Behind the scenes look at this year's Veterans Classic. Presented by Northwestern Mutual right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Hoops Confidential.
Marquette, of course, dominated their game against Vanderbilt, and Ohio State beat the Naval Academy, as seen on CBS Sports Network. So Kobe McEwen, we mentioned that he's more of a natural point guard. The problem with that is that's the first time that he turns it over. Here he has an opportunity to show that he can be the point guard of this team, and the previous 3 possessions, he never touched the ball. When you're a point guard, shot goes up, you got to get the ball. And all these other, well, I can bring it up, that's fine. You're not the point guard.
Texas Tech on a scoring drought of 5 minutes 39 seconds. Texas Tech will try to snap that skid.
And remember, they went 13 minutes and change without a field goal last night. Now, not without a point, without a field goal. Now they're on a scoreless streak of how long?
5:39, the number. A 19-4 run for Utah State over the last 8 minutes. Team started evenly, and Utah State bounced out on top. This ball bounces out of bounds. Defense for Utah State. Alex Dargenton, number 11.
This is a better zone team when you have Jalen Moore's length and you have Dargenton, who also has very good length.
Jalen Moore poaches the inbound pass, attempted for Millinghouse.
Beautiful.
Big step through, and a score. About 13 points now on 5 of 6 shooting. Averaging into this contest 17.5 per game. You might hit that average in the first half. And you called it. Could drop 30 in this one. Easily on pace for that. Good look inside. Janasek shuts it down. Texas Tech will kick it back out. McLean dumped it away. Floater, and the rebound had by Moore. He's fouled.
He is up for the Julius Erving Award. Now look, it ain't like he went and threw it down from the free throw line, or he goes under the basket like Dr. J did against the Lakers back in the early 80s. That's still a beautiful finish and step through against Shadell Millinghouse.
That was the 4th turnover by Texas Tech. That steal by Jalen Moore. Utah State has committed 3 turnovers. Dump it into Moore, too close to the rim, couldn't get his grip on it. Giovanni McLean handles the basketball. Millinghouse bounces along the baseline, out of bounds, tried for McLean. That is the 5th turnover by the Red Raiders. Check in for Texas Tech, a sub coming in. First time we've seen Naeem Stevenson.
Now we're going deep into the bench here for Texas Tech. It's pretty obvious. Chris Beard was not happy with his team's effort in the first half of last night. Not happy with their production so far tonight. And remember, doesn't have Aaron Ross, who is not just an older kid, but he also went to prep school for a year. You're losing your returning leading scorer and a guy who provides you a ton of leadership at both ends of the floor, and they're playing like a team without a rudder.
Foul on the offense. It's Janasek, his first. A little clear out pushing foul. Trying to open up some offense. Texas Tech now scoring drought over 7 minutes of clock time.
Now a little 1-3-1. Again, using Jalen Moore's length. He's not a great on-ball defender, but you put him, use this 1-3-1, and just gives the offense a different look.
Tried to kick that, but Thomas bounced it past the foot fling of Jalen Moore. Texas Tech having a hard time getting any shots up here. They get a little ticky-tack foul given away by Sam Merrill.
See, and I also like it because, look, Texas Tech is a motion offense team. Hard to scout motion. It can be monotonous to play against motion. And Tech emphasizes 3 or more passes on every half-court possession, and you end up getting worn down by it. That's really what happened with Utah State last night. They're just worn down by Purdue inside. So you don't have to guard the motion if you go to different zone looks. Smart coaching.
Saw the return of Gore Barnaba for Utah State. He just trotted back on the floor on that horn. Naeem Stevenson. Barnaba takes the rebound. Merrill hands to Barnaba. Scorer has the basketball. Gives it away. cutter, and Texas Tech fends it off. Moore had the ball dislodged.
That's a beautiful pass from McEwen to Moore, but that's a little steal.
Stevenson tries it, tipped out. Pretty good play for Texas Tech on the boards by Zach Smith. Retained possession. Alley-oop, and Zach Smith, third time here in Cancun that we've seen Smith dunk in impressive style. That one set up beautifully. And the first bucket in forever for Texas Tech, over 8 minutes. Janasek over Livingston, no good. Stevenson rebounds.
And Justin Gray's done a much better job on Jalen Moore, and that's why Utah State's offense has gotten a little stagnant.
Livingston running skyhook, missed. Barnaba open in the corner, too strong. Last touch by Janasek, out of bounds to Texas Tech Red Raiders after breaking their scoring drought, trying to get it back into single digits in the third place game at the Cancun Challenge. Put it up and put it down. Thomas to Smith. You're watching Holiday Hoops presented by Citizen Watch. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, then join us Friday afternoon from the Gridiron. Northern Illinois takes on Kent State, 12 Eastern, followed by star running back Jeremy McNichols and the 20th ranked Boise State Broncos battling the Falcons of Air Force, 3:30 p.m. only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. College Football Friday. It's going to be a large weekend of college football. Catch a good block of that on Friday. Also featured on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports, the Doug Gottlieb Show.
Featuring not Doug Gottlieb this week,
not
but
right
yes,
now, but
we'll be back next week.
Soon to be again. How's the show going?
It's still on air. It's still on air. That's, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Key card still works. Feel good about it.
Doug Gottlieb with myself, Thad Anderson, in Mexico, the Riviera Maya Hard Rock Hotel. Riviera Maya, the location for the Cancun Challenge. Millinghouse, travel. Shadell Millinghouse from Brooklyn, New York. Spent his freshman season at Southern Miss.
Right, two New York City point guards. Shane Rector, of course, from New York City. Spent his first couple years in Missouri. Millinghouse, you mentioned, at Southern Miss. Coaching change there, took him to junior college. And played for Steve DeMayo at Northwest Florida State.
Tried a lob to Jalen Moore and clanged it off the rim. Evans spins it home.
Beautiful move.
Keenan Evans. Now within 8, Utah State 24, Texas Tech 16. Chris Beard slowly getting the results he wants in the first half. It's been a grind for the coach, though, and he can't stop Jalen Moore over the defense again.
And Jalen Moore, and he already has he got 6 buckets, 3 threes.
Yeah. Jalen Moore, 6 of 7 from the floor. The rest of the team, 4 of 11.
15 points already.
And
somebody said he can drop 30 in a heartbeat.
That was you.
That was me.
Yeah, well.
I thought that was the internal monologue. Turns out it was the external one.
Luckily you put that one out there because it might be right. He's got 15 points in 13 minutes of floor time, does Jalen Moore. Tries a 3 again. This one way too strong. Falls into the hands of Matthew Temple. Good box out.
That was the heat check with Evans on him.
Second heat check tonight. He's missed them both. It's the only 2 shots he's missed. Everything else he's been hot.
Well, we talked about Jalen Moore in the open. We talked about Jalen Moore off, and now he's got Livingston on him. That's his second post move. We saw the turnaround over the left shoulder. That's the counter move over the right shoulder. A little bit of fadeaway. We've seen the catch and shoot jump shots. I thought he had the right idea in mind when he had Keenan Evans on him. He wanted to shoot over Evans, but he should have backed him down on the post. Got a mouse in the house. Drive him down to the post. The double comes. You make a pass. If not, turn around and shoot it.
Jalen Moore just checked out. Julian Perry and Sam Merrill checked in for Utah State. They're out there with Barnaba. Also got Quinn Taylor on the floor.
And at least Texas Tech has the names on the back of the jersey. With all the substitutions going on, play-by-play nightmare is kind of that turnstile substitution.
That's right. Shane Rector's also out there. That's the 5th on the floor for Utah State.
Utah State, no names in the back of the jerseys. That is just, at least they're sticking with, they're not doing as many hockey substitutions.
At Texas Tech, I think they know they have to put the names on theirs. Coach doesn't know who's out there half the time. Moving so quickly with the personnel changes. Moving the ball around the Aggies and cashing in. Utah State gets a long conversion from Sam Merrill.
I love that extra pass from Shane Rector. Rector, a good shooter, made an open 3 today, but instead turned it down and created that clear look for Sam Merrill.
That is 8 assists now for Utah State on 11 buckets. They've scored 11 field goals. 8 of those have been assisted. Under 4 minutes to go, first half. Third place game at the Cancun Challenge. 3 on the way, Tres Puntos. Zach Smith, who has been dunking with frequency, steps outside.
But that's Zach Smith's game. A very good athlete finishing at the basket. Not really a post-up player, but he can shoot jump shots. He and Anthony Livingston are good jump shooters.
Smith, Livingston, Evans out there along with Thomas and Thomas Brandsma, the 5 on the floor for Texas Tech right now. Thomas, Brandsma, he got fouled, had to re-corral the pass and then managed to get himself hacked for free throws.
Well, Texas Tech wants to pass the ball 3 times or more every offensive possession. How about this one from Utah State? 6 passes. 6. Shane Rector drives in, creates, drives, finishes. Eventually we'll find our way to a Sam Merrill jump shot. Aggies up 9 in Cancun.
Utah State 29, Texas Tech 20. Some of those Aggies fans found the wrestling masks down here south of the border that came in their school colors. Convenient. Bracket to date, yesterday's games. Auburn a winner and a tight one over Texas Tech. Purdue a large margin against Utah State. Auburn-Purdue will be featured next up on CBS Sports Network in the championship of the Cancun Challenge.
We can have the pressure and tenacity of Auburn defensively against, people try to say size doesn't matter. These 2 big fellas, they would counter that. Caleb Swanigan, 6'8" sophomore, a dominant interior and exterior player. Then big Isaac Haas, 7'2". He's a Haas, H-O-S-S, right? 7'2", 290, and he can play. He can really play, can score in the post. So basically the question for Purdue is, can you get the ball inbounds? Can you get the ball past midcourt? Can you throw the ball into the block? And if you do so, you're probably going to win.
Those 2 big guys for Purdue hit 16 of their 20 free throw tries last night, too. The big guys hitting 80% from the line. 3rd double-double in 4 games for Swanigan. Not enough ways to illustrate how good they've been, and there are a lot of different ways to do it, and they're even better than that. Frontline power for Purdue. That'll be featured next against Auburn, off to a 4-0 start. The Tigers. At the line was Thomas Brandsma. Brandsma knocks it down, then he'll check out. Brandsma leaves the floor. There's Millinghouse. There goes Brandsma out of Colleyville, Texas. Played at Little Rock, a senior. Has played for Coach Beard at McMurray, at Angelo State, at Little Rock, and now at Texas Tech. Pretty cool. Brandsma and Coach Beard bond through the years.
That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a lot of paperwork, a lot of transfer paperwork, a lot of new transcripts, a lot of change of venue.
Hey, man, it's when you have a guy who believes in you, that'll take you with him. It's a great feeling to have.
Do you imagine he'll end up as a graduate assistant coach?
I would guess, yes.
Yeah.
Or just the caddy. I mean, Chris Beard has not bought a house since moving to Lubbock. I said, what do you mean you haven't bought a house? I just haven't had time. You got to find a realtor, pick out a place. Just don't have time.
Living in his office?
No, he lives in a nice apartment. So, the best thing about Lubbock is, there's a Denny's open. He's a late night grinder in the office. So, when you're in Las Vegas, he was the head coach of UNLV for 2 weeks. He said, remember, we got done working at practice one day, at the office one day. We went and had this great steak inside a casino. I just figured that wasn't for me. I'm more of a Denny's guy.
Yeah. Long and good. Texas Tech, 3 puntos. Giovanni McLean. And Texas Tech back within 4. Their third 3 of the night. Tightens up the scoreboard.
Utah State doesn't have much offense outside of Jalen Moore, and Jalen Moore not being in the game. Let's see if they can generate points.
Janasek working in the lane and nearly had the ball stripped and then put it in the bucket and got fouled.
Janasek did a good job of catching, taking a look. I don't think he realized Texas Tech is coming on the bounce. What's coming on the bounce mean? This is it. Watch. He takes a look, no trouble coming. But as soon as he dribbles, they're coming in to dig that sucker out. And unfortunately, Millinghouse fouls him right as he goes up. Janasek is from Czechoslovakia. When he's 15 years old, he went to Canaria to a basketball academy. After staying there for a couple years, came to Snow College, played junior college basketball, and then off to Utah State. There's a guy who is not unfamiliar with having his passport stamped, chasing his basketball dream.
Had it stamped to get down here to Mexico. Just put in a 2+1 to Janasek. Gets his team back out by 7 now. Evans has it. That was the second foul by Millinghouse that sent Janasek to the line. Evans fights for it again. Now Gray battles. Has it poked away by Rector. Utah State fends off multiple attacks from 2 or 3 feet from the rim.
And after Utah State, I want to go back inside to Janasek. He found something there.
Rector likes the look of that 3, missed it. Bon Voyage DMC is the premier and trusted partner for transportation at the Cancun Challenge, giving you unforgettable experiences. BonVoyageDMC.com. Bon Voyage Travel gets all of us moved around. I've got to get up at, 3:20 a.m. to catch my Bon Voyage shuttle in the morning.
I will tell you, the folks at Bon Voyage, they want to make sure you make your flight, but they want to make sure a little bit too early. I'm a guy who, my perfect flight arrival time is for the door closes in the airport as I pass the door.
Perfect.
They want you there about 2 hours early.
Precision travel.
Yes.
Yeah, Bon Voyage says, let's get there 2-3 hours early, hang out, maybe hit the duty-free shop. Livingston inside, Texas Tech.
Strong left hand.
Back within 5.
This is what they didn't do last night. Last night they couldn't get it within 10 in the first half. Now they're within 5. Texas Tech, if you like one stop, and even though you'll still be trailing, you'll have confidence going to the break. Charge.
Whistle and
McLean.
Charging foul. Yep, McLean got it. Hey, coming up at the half, we'll send you to AT&T at the half. Brent Stover, Steve Lapis, John Rothstein in our CBS Sports Network studio. That's AT&T at the half coming up next. Short stop, and then we'll finish up this first half. 36 seconds to go, and Utah State up by 5. Doug, don't be startled when you get home. I snuck that thing into your suitcase.
The iguanas are everywhere.
It's in your suitcase waiting to arrive back home safely.
Are they mean?
No, they're
look at that tail.
Diplomats of the resort.
Look at that tail. Then he's got the extra tail.
Yeah.
That's mean.
Extender.
Giovanni McLean, Gio McLean, I saw him play at Quinnipiac. He was a really good player at Quinnipiac. Averaged 12.7 points a game for the Q. Of course, a highly rated junior college player. And this is one of the things for Texas Tech they've been able to do here, playing 2 in 2 days. He didn't play at all last night. Just took that charge and earning minutes as Chris Beard's trying to find a role for his 5th-year graduate transfer.
Second foul for San Merrill on that charge. Now down to 18 seconds in the half. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Livingston straight away. Good. 3-point basket for Anthony Livingston. Tightens this up to a 2-point game. Last shot for Utah State. Threw it away. Buzzer sounds. No shot put up. And Texas Tech going to be happy to go into the locker room with a 2-point deficit.
And Chris Beard sprinted off the court. Now obviously the game changed when Jalen Moore got his second personal foul and sat. But it felt like Texas Tech's kind of intimidated this Utah State crew, especially their younger players. as they've climbed back into this game down 2.
Anthony Livingston, 11 points to lead Texas Tech and lead them back. Overall leading scorer for Utah State, that's Jalen Moore with 15.